Hi, Tim Allen here, and I want to tell you about an organization that changes lives one at a time.
Wheelchairs for North Hollywood.
NBC News World Headquarters.
It's called Wheels for Humanity.
This is NBC.
We think of basic human rights as rights to water, rights to food, rights to shelter. But if you give somebody all of those essentials and you don't give them mobility, then what do they really have? Mobility is a fundamental human right. We all need it to participate in every aspect of our lives. If that's being able to go to school and get an education, if it's being employed, if it's making friends, if it's just being able to practice your religion and go to wherever it is that you want to practice your religion, you cannot do these things without mobility. And so it's a fundamental human right, and we as concerned citizens of this world should ensure that every person on this planet has that right fulfilled. There are over 70 million people around the world who need a wheelchair. 85 to 95% of those people actually don't have the wheelchair that they need and can't access one. That's either because it's not available in the country or they just simply can't afford it. The work is really mostly about how are we able to bring a product to these individuals that really allow them to live their life to the fullest. When we're talking about 70 million people around the world, we have to look at what are the major barriers preventing these individuals from receiving the wheelchair or the rehabilitation services that they need and start breaking down those barriers. It's great to be able to develop the clinical services, ensure that the products that are available, but until we work with the government and we influence their policies and the funding that's available to support these products and services long term, it's really just a Band-Aid. So a great deal of our efforts today are really made on how can we influence the government's policies so that services and products are sustainably available.
We change countries. We stand for the civil rights of people with disabilities around the world. When we started that organization in Indonesia, we hired individuals that use wheelchairs to be our staff. This was the first job they ever had in their life. And what it does when you work, when you have a job and you're disabled, it gives you a purpose in life. You now have dignity. You now are earning a living. There's no status quo in the UCP family, and that carries over to UCP Wheels for Humanity. We're not going to stop on our laurels. We've done great work.
You know, in the past, when we first started, our focus was how can we help one individual? And so we did that. We collected wheelchairs, we got that wheelchair restored, and we brought it out and we cared for that one individual. And that sense that we want to help one individual, one person remains the same, but we see that in order to really affect a global change, we have to make some really strategic interventions.
Lives have been transformed. I've seen in Indonesia, the kid that every day just lives on a concrete floor. He's got no mobility. He can't go to school. He can't play with friends. He can't go out of the house. He just lies on a concrete floor. To see that kid that afternoon, after he gets his wheelchair, buzzing around, going out, he can now go to school. And think about this, if he can now go to school, that means mom or dad don't have to stay home and watch this kid. So that frees up mom or dad to go out and work. The simple act, giving somebody mobility, how that just transformed that person and that person's family's life. There's no finish line for us. We're going to keep going. And we're going to keep reinventing, and we're going to keep making it better. And what is best practice today is not going to be best practice tomorrow, and we're going to be in the middle of it. changing disabilities around the world.